Forget that you're watching, so.
Yeah.
It should be. Yeah, there we go. We're good. We're on.
Oh, what have I done?
That's
Hello?
such a penis.
Hello?
I thought we were friends.
We are friends.
Friends wouldn't treat each other this way.
We do.
Yeah, fair. I definitely do it to you if it was me. So that's
Yeah,
fair.
you would, yeah.
Okay, recap.
Recap. Oh, la, la, la. I don't think I missed anything, but I might have. We rest up and Vice is completely and utterly trashed, and we wake up to Aurelueva.
Relueva.
Oh, that wasn't too far off. We head into Starvin and give Nemea and Vice and I give Nemea and Vice a breakdown of the city and its different districts. Our guard stops us at the entrance to inform us that the king has introduced a no magic ruling, punishable by arrest or worse. We meet the Herald Ball. Ball.
Ball.
Ball. I don't know how to type Ball, so I've written Ball. Ball. Who advises us of a new advisor to the king and gives us entry to a local tavern, the Pint and Teller. We visit a
He's 7
blacksmith.
foot. Don't forget that.
I did think I wrote somewhere he's giant, but yeah. We visit blacksmiths and go looking for an enchanters until we realise the magic ban has probably caused it to be closed down. We go to not my new parents. We go to my parents' temple. We catch up and have introductions and go over the changes in the city. Vice asks them about his ex-wife on the off chance they've seen her and shows them a picture. But my dad recognises her and explains how she passed through in a group. However, she seemed a little detached. I also asked my mum about the prophecy parchment that I've got, and she tells me all the mage books have been claimed, but suggests starting at the library. We take some rooms at the temple and go out. We find a notice board with some odd jobs and a weird notice about Dawn. We also pop into the Pint and Teller, where we see Baal, and he tells some old stories of Bela'Dun, and it ends with him breaking an orb and teleporting away. A number of people then leave the inn, and the innkeeper thinks they've gone to get the guard because he's used magic. Some elf comes over and sits with us. His name is Elkas. He convinces us to help him find some people. Vice goes back to the inn to rest up, and we follow Elkas to a new place in the shadows.
Cool. Okay, so there's two things happening because Vice is not with you guys, but he is going to be doing his own shit. So, let's see here. Return to Starvin, tried to find an enchanter. New laws stopped that. You went to Livia's parents. They offered you a place to stay. You found a notice board where you picked up all of the various jobs.
Did you not hear my recap?
Yeah, I did, but I have like a quick recap to put me back in the right headspace at the start of my session plans.
Right.
So you're planning on heading to the Leanos library, but you've got a whole bunch of things to do if you want to essentially go and do those now. Currently, the two of you are with Elkas at an inn called the Cloak and Flagon in the Shadows, and I think the intention was to generally discuss what each other knows. Elkas, you have decent reason to believe that the Heart of Dawn seem interested in this group for some reason, and the group have the information that they have, but unfortunately Vice isn't with them. So, the three of you up in Elkas's room in the Cloak and Flagon have just returned after seeing Baal teleport away, and you're basically free to do what you want.
Are we currently with Elkas talking to him?
You're currently in Elkas's room, that's where we left it, yeah. Three of you are in there.
Well.
Okay. So what is this Heart of Dawn that you mentioned?
Well, it all goes back to the beginning of my journey, where a few of the tribes, amongst the Wood Elf community, we have a alliance of sorts, and when tribes get attacked, we go investigate. We like to know what's happening around. So I investigated, found out various things, and found one of their members. Caught them before they could escape, interrogated them. They didn't make it, and the rest of his friends buggered off. All I know is that they've attacked many tribespeople, and that this is their name. There's not too much else that I know. I know that they're dangerous. Their influence clearly spreads much further than I would have expected.
How are they dangerous though? What are they doing?
I mean, who normally indiscriminately goes around attacking elven tribes throughout the forest with no clear reason and just disappears with next to no trace? And clearly they must have some kind of ulterior motives if they're chasing after groups of strangers like yourselves.
They're chasing after us? What?
Or at
Have I
least
missed something?
they're watching you, clearly.
Are they? That's scary.
Those two men in the pub seem to be quite affixed to you.
I think you guys would have noticed the two people in the pub looking your way relatively often, but not known who they were at the time. Obviously, I guess
Yeah.
to sort of put that together for you now.
Yeah.
Just gonna
So
check
what are you trying to do?
Hunt them down. Find out why they did what they've done. I'm not sure if I'm looking for justice or
So,
revenge, but
are they only attacking Wood Elf tribes, or are they attacking elsewhere?
I'm not entirely sure.
That's correct. You're not entirely sure.
Yeah, okay, good. Well,
The tribes though, they have contacts with non-wood elf people, and there would be other elves amidst the wood that wouldn't necessarily just be wood elves. You're aware of other people being attacked.
I
Just not
relay
the specifics of those.
this
attacks.
holy information from our divine lord. Yeah, no. It's not all entirely wood elves, but it is just the tribes as far as I know. But they could be attacking other people. My knowledge doesn't spread as far as the entire continent. But what about you? Any indiscriminate fellows attacking you or your party?
Every day.
No, but and I'm sort of gonna like pause and look at the mayor and be like, we did know someone who was a wood elf, and it seems that where he was from, he had a similar sort of raid as to what you're describing. It was from what he said, it was quite traumatic. So
I see.
I'm inclined to.
Was he from one of the tribes then?
Yes, I think so. Honestly, I can't quite remember the name of it, but I know he
Roll
was
history if you
from.
want.
He was from the Daliera tribe.
There you go.
Yes, that sounds right.
What was his name?
His name was Lael.
What about his family name?
I'm gonna look at the mayor like.
Lael Galanadel from the Daliera tribe.
Would I recognize that name?
Roll history.
Sick. 20. There we go.
Only his true love would remember his name.
What even is my history?
Apparently, I'm coming through twice on Twitch. I don't know why.
Who's watching?
It's still happening. Vin.
Ooh, much
Hi,
better.
Ben. Our biggest fan.
Big
20.
fan.
He
I'm
knows.
just gonna kill my Discord and reopen it and see if it makes a difference. I'm not sure
Got
it will.
20.
Okay, one sec.
Do what we want.
We can do it.
Hey, it's just right. Everyone's
shit,
level
back.
20.
Nat 20s every day.
You're all gonna
No.
make amazing DMs.
Ah, you were still here.
Awkward.
my shitload's quick.
Hmm.
Vin, let me know if I'm still double. If I am, I really don't know what I can do about it. So, Ulcas, you're aware of the Daliera tribe. You think you heard murmurs of that last name before, but nothing particularly specific. It adds up that they would have potentially been attacked You could assume that they were either before or after the tribe that you came across. That's about it.
I'm just thinking though. Okay, yeah. If I was part of like this, next in line for this, council and such,
Mhm.
would I not know like the last names of the other members? Because surely if
There's a difference between becoming an elder of your tribe and joining the council, which then integrates with the rest of the tribes.
okay, clearly I don't get it. Elkus is dumb. Well, I don't know shit. He sounds like a great fellow. Cool. That tribe seems to be one of the ones that was attacked, so this was fairly recent.
It was his mission to find these people, but we didn't know who they were and we didn't know where to look. I want to live on his dream and hunt these people down for him.
So
If that's what you're doing, that's what I want to do.
So I guess he didn't make it.
Sadly, no. That was my fault.
It was not your fault.
Well,
He was a risk taker, and he got himself in a tricky situation. And unfortunately, there was only so much we could do.
it took like an eternity to fucking find him. I'm sorry. Fucking hell.
Right.
It's not like you told us where you were going.
You were.
Like always, you just disappear and not say nothing. Killed yourself.
Oh, Vice is having some strange nightmares in his room.
Quick test for my voice because I'm changing something in OBS to see if it's making a difference.
Right. Yeah. I guess you guys seem like you're definitely not on their side, so that helps with trusting you.
Seems like you trusted us
Um,
already. We give him like a
well-
half smile. Like you invited us back to your room. Pretty weird if you don't trust us.
Well, there's still that
That's how
level
he
of
likes it.
wariness.
2 girls, 1 room.
Loads of armor.
Maybe that's his thing.
Elkus slants his eyes to the side. At this,
He likes the way it shines.
has rosy
Okay,
cheeks
cool.
in embarrassment.
Right, apparently I'm good now. So, having had this conversation, you guys are free to talk more if you want. Sevi, if that's you knocking about in the kitchen, can you mute yourself? You're free to talk more if you want to. Otherwise, this is a 1-bed room. What do you want to do?
A 1-bed room? What, are you implying we should all sleep together in a bed? I'm confused.
I'm implying if you're going to stay here, there is only 1 bed.
Oh, well, I wasn't going to stay here.
So what are
How
you
late
going
is
to
it?
do? About 9:30.
So,
okay.
I guess my question to you is, shall we join forces? I'm not entirely sure if you're down for hunting these people, or if you have some other reasons to be here. That take
I mean, they certainly don't sound like they're doing the world any good. I'd be up for looking into them at least and trying to find out who they are and what they're about. I'm gonna look at Nemea like, I know you're gonna want to do this, so I might as well disagree.
This was Lael's dream, and
Dream. You make it sound like he wanted to be a pop star.
all he wanted to do was find the people who killed his mother, stole her ring, and
Hold
he
on.
should do that.
Her ring.
Yes, her ring.
What ring?
It was his mother's ring, that's all I know. But he had the same one.
Did he ever describe it?
Maybe?
Nemea and Livia roll history and then roll perception.
Okay. History and perception?
Yes.
Um,
+4 and then +1.
Is it /R?
Yes.
I get it wrong every time.
It's not r/. We're not on Reddit.
Do you post on Reddit that much?
My history roll is 16.
She hasn't been on Reddit in like 6
10
months.
years.
and a perception, right?
And this is my perception. Nat 1.
Fucking Christ.
I can't see shit.
Deception.
Olivia?
Disgrace.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
I see everything.
So Nemea, you remember kind of roughly what Lael's mum's ring looked like from his description that he mentioned in passing.
Mhm.
Just as you guys travelled over many months, you know, given that it was the primary thing he was looking for, he sort of told you a little bit about it every now and then. Livia, you don't really remember it, and Nemea, it's only really that happens for you, the slight memory and sort of some passing description that Lael mentioned. Livia, you do notice that Elkas is clearly wearing a ring. It
What's
looks
that
to be
you've got?
relatively ornate.
It's quite similar to what Lael used to
No.
describe.
Nope.
No? No?
Not
I'm
from your
confused.
history roll.
That's what you just said.
That was
So
Nemea.
I described.
Oh,
I
sorry, I've
described
got confused.
the ring. You're both there. I described what I remember. Yada yada. Then you know the ring.
This is the ring of an elder. An elder of one of our tribes. Clearly mine is from the Fenharel. This is handed down through the generations as one may rise to the position of an elder to then, beyond that, become part of the Elder Council. I am
Okay.
up and running for one of those spots, clearly. It sounds like possibly your friend was too.
Or his mother.
Or his mother was, at least, yes.
Yeah, they must have been quite.
I'm
high
gonna
up.
look at Nemea, like, does that sound like anything Lael said to you? Kind of like, I don't know.
Lael had never mentioned anything like that. He was just solely focused on the fact that his tribe had been slaughtered, so even if he was to rise to power, there's nothing to rule anymore. So he...
No, I meant, like, did he ever mention that his mum might be a, like, tribe woman person?
No, not to me.
That's unlucky.
Mm. He wasn't talkative much.
That's
Lael.
fair.
Livia, can you roll history for me again?
Yes. Oh, quiet one. There you go.
Okay. It becomes apparent to you, Livia, after spending some time here now, that Arelueva doesn't seem particularly celebrated this year. They're hanging out the the white fabrics that kind of mark the occasion, but it's generally like a big celebration with a carnival and games and stuff like that. But all you've seen is the
decorations.
The decorations, yeah.
Oh.
How long have you been here, Elkas?
How long have I been here?
Oh, shit, we did discuss this. Bear with me.
Again.
Sorry.
No, it's cool. It's a perfectly good question. I have all sorts of things. Timeline.
So it's okay. It's okay. I don't even remember my own wife.
Vice is having
Totally
some really
fine.
strange nightmares
Don't
today.
you worry.
That exhaustion is really messing with him.
So,
So funny.
He's just there dreaming, just like, who are you? Who is my wife?
Oh, my beautiful wife with her.
Where is she?
How long
Did
were
I
we
even
married
actually
for?
get married?
And she had skin.
you guys got here at basically the same time. So you've been here maybe a couple more days than them. Essentially what happened was, when you guys met in Moorhen, 2 months later, Elkas had something happen to him which meant he decided to go to Stalvin. It took him 6 months. It took you guys 8 months total. So his 6-month journey plus being 2 months in before he got his message makes 8 total, and it took you guys 8 months to get here.
I see.
So I've been here that long.
You've been here like 2 or 3 days longer than them, but
Yeah.
all you've really seen of that time, Elkas, is the decorations go up. You haven't really been integrating much with the townsfolk outside of generally looking for the Heart of Dawn or looking for information about them. You haven't heard anything as to why there would be some sort of delay to Arelueva or why it would be getting skipped entirely. you've visited the city a bit and ended up mostly in the shadows, trying to find information and somewhat failing.
I'm pretty sure that I took the notice from the notice board that said something about dawn.
I think the mayor took it.
Yeah.
Mayor, have you got that thing about the
Oh no,
dawn?
sorry, Livia, you apparently have it. You have it, Livia.
Yeah, I thought I took it. I'm gonna say, well,
It's in your inventory.
sounds like this might be related, but I found this on the notice board in the central square place, whatever it's called. Does this mean anything to you?
The market square.
That's it.
What the fuck is this thing? Because I don't remember.
We saw it.
Yeah, you weren't there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't there.
The group
Yeah.
took a posting from a notice board that said, "Dawn is on the horizon. Those with the heart will know where to gather."
Hmm.
Do you know what this message could mean? Because we could go there and we could pretend to be initiates, and that's how we could find them.
This is
Go
possibly
where?
a meeting place for the Heart of Dawn.
But those with the heart will know where to gather. Where could that be?
Yeah, so I'm not here. Sorry. Hang on.
No,
I'm coming
not
to
that
you.
dream again.
You hear an echo in the distance. A light strumming. Well,
Oh yeah.
Don't be gross, Lucy.
We have two options. We can either ask around,
It's more than I
Or-
thought we had.
we can do it all adventure style and climb up on a roof and see if there's any clues with this.
Well,
Maybe not.
let's ask around. I should still know people. I spent most of my life growing up here, so let me ask around. Let's see if we can find out some information.
Okay.
then lead
People
the
should-
way, Olivia.
I mean, probably not at like 10 p.m. at night.
It's fairly late, so we should probably get
Uh,
some rest and
Rest and do it in
be
Onwards.
you should,
Let's go ask people
the
while
bed.
they're asleep.
Where have all the people gone?
you should probably check.
Open your goddamn door.
We want to ask you questions.
Swear
I need
me.
to ask you something.
Okay, so do you guys want to leave? Are you staying at this place? What do you want to
Should we agree to meet up tomorrow at some point after we've had
In
some
the
rest?
market? Question mark. We could meet there. That's central-
Elcas.
I guess so. Yes.
Yes? Okay. Me and Olivia will be on the way. Goodbye.
do? Cool.
She's perked up.
So, as you guys
Not burning any
head out,
buildings today.
as you guys head out of the Cloak and Flagon, you see a few people just sort of quietly tending to their drinks in the darkened room that is this place, on the ground floor. Where the fuck is this place, though? One sec.
Wow, this costs low.
Oh, here it is. You see the tiefling guy at the bar, just tending to some mugs and cleaning them out and stuff, looking out across the people. He sees you go past and doesn't really question it. Are you heading out or are you heading to him?
Head to what? The barman? Did you say?
Mhm.
No,
Where are you
we're
going?
leaving. Back to the inn to rest.
You aren't staying in an inn.
Oh, the temple. Sorry, yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, cool. You're in an inn, which is what my confusion was. Okay, cool. So as you guys head down the kind of narrow alleyways that make up the shadows, people are passing you by. There are some people that are sort of off round corners that see you come past and like turn away from you. There's one sec.
Me
Yeah.
specifically?
No, they're both. You're going. You and the mayor are going, right? Elkas has stayed in his room.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're walking past people. It's a busy city, it's the capital, so you can't really walk around without passing nobody, although it's gone a bit dead given the time. There's a tiefling boy off in the distance walking the opposite way to you guys as you're about to pass him. And there's other people kind of like just scooting past you, and you hear one person running in the distance. It's not near you, it's far enough away. I'm people are generally passing you in this kind of cloaked, shadowy area. You can see the light of the market square that connects the shadows to everywhere else. And I need you both to make a... I didn't write it down. Deck save, please.
Oh no, someone's trying to trip us up.
Yeah, Dex save. Nice. It is
I'm on the wrong thing.
a 7. I flop.
That one.
Okay, cool. Olivia, how much money do you have?
Oh, nah, man.
Oh,
Nah,
mate.
man.
GM,
Uh,
don't do this, man.
7
Lies.
plat and 89 gold.
Okay.
Oh.
So, as you are walking past, this tiefling boy passes on your right, and kind of lingers for a moment, and then you hear a clash of coin on the ground, and he runs. Given that you've nat wand, he's going to basically get away. You see him kind of scramble something in his hands just before the noise of coin lands on the ground. He runs away, and your coin purse has been cut open at the bottom, and your coins spill onto the ground around you. You lose 1 plat and 32 gold.
Oh, what?
What? That is a joke,
There's a reason
man.
your dad
How
didn't
did
want you in the shadows.
32.
Oh, man.
Yeah, 1 plat, 32 gold.
32 gold.
But you don't really have anything to carry your money currently, unless you just sort of put it in your backpack.
I mean, I'm assuming I've got pockets, but
Yeah.
I could look after it for you if you want, Livia. I am.
would you mind?
Yeah, I can look after it until.
It's 6 plat and 57 gold. Cheers.
You hear...
You lose 6 plat and 57.
No, she lost 1 plat and 32 gold. Well, it depends on how much of it Nemea keeps.
No, giving it to the mayor, you lose.
Yeah. That's true. As
Was
the
it
coin kind of...
57?
Huh?
Was it 57 gold?
Sevi?
What? Yeah, yeah, 57 I've got left.
Okay, cool.
Okay, there you go. I just wanted to make sure I had the right amount written.
Oh, I've written it down, don't worry.
47. Okay. There you go.
As the coin kind of clashes on the ground, you start to see the eyes of the people that were turning away from you before kind of turn back. And at least one of the people starts to sort of slowly walk towards your direction. As you guys kind of gather the coin and Nemea takes it, puts it somewhere slightly safer.
I'm just gonna be on edge and aware.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So as you guys are cautiously leaving the shadows, Vice, and your
Yes, sir.
3 points of exhaustion, I think you're on.
Yes, sir.
Yep. So you've made your way back to the Temple of Arella. Without much hassle, you found the way easily enough. Let me just see if I can get something different in terms of the music. This is a bit too grandiose for nighttime. This might
What are
just
you on about?
be wrong.
We'll get some Elder Scrolls music.
No, I found a playlist on YouTube called Royalty Free D&D, and I'm hoping that it genuinely is royalty free. Only time will tell. If this video gets copyright claimed, we know it's not.
That
So,
or
Bryce,
it's broken.
Yeah.
you've made your way back to the Temple of Arella, and it's quiet. You see Livia's parents downstairs seemingly having some sort of conversation, but in your exhausted state, you don't really want to interrupt them unless you choose to. You know the way to the stairway, and it kind of circles round in the far left corner of the temple. You can see in front of a large statue of Arella at the end of the temple, there have been several offerings, and you get the feeling that maybe that's more than what this place generally rakes in, because it seems to be a lot more than normal. It's in keeping with the current festival, although it seems to be a relatively tame festival, given that not much has happened from what you can tell. You head upstairs, and you go into your room, which you managed to kind of pick out from the ones that they mentioned earlier. In your sort of exhausted state, you head in and you find quite a nice, wide-ish, large bed, relatively ornate. It's very comfortable. There are dressers and stands and things around. You're able to sort of hang your cloak if you want to and lay your bag to the side. One thing, you actually make a perception roll for me. I think you still have disadvantage.
Do I?
Yeah,
Oh,
because that's the
right.
first point of exhaustion. You're going to have that one for a while. Okay, 6. Not great. Let me just pull you into whispers. 1 sec. Bye, everyone. Hopefully, Twitch still works properly. So, despite your crap perception roll, you notice a book open on the kind of table to the side of the bed. And as you're dropping your gear and stuff like that, you start to realise that it contains information about Livia. You see her name, and beginning to realise that this isn't your stuff. You haven't dropped anything off before. You kind of think, oh, this isn't mine, I shouldn't be reading this. But before you... Well, I'll give you the choice. Do you want to read, or would you be like, this isn't mine, I'm going to leave it?
Well, I mean, if it was left open, the person clearly didn't care too much about the information that was on it.
In your room as well, which is a stranger to you.
Yeah. So, okay, I'll have a look.
Okay, cool. So it's open on a very early page in what appears to be a journal, from what you can tell. Give me another perception check just now that you are closer to this book and paying more attention specifically to the lettering and what you're looking at. It's still at disadvantage.
Okay, 1 second.
It's gonna be a 6 again. Okay, 7. It's a relatively nice leather-bound journal. You can just kind of see the edges. You don't close it to inspect it like closely, but you just happen to notice that as you're reading some of the pages. The page that it's on seems to be a specific recount of Livia's arrival to the temple. What it says, what the first few pages kind of read in a broad term, I'm not going to give you the exact wording. Thea and Zuko, many years ago, I can tell you exactly if Livia was in the room, opened the door to the Temple of Arella, having heard the cries of a child. When they did open the door, a bright light almost blinded them. It lit up the surrounding area and they had to turn away, and as soon as they turned away it had slowly subsided and they looked back. And what they saw there was a child. They decided that this was some sort of intentional thing. Whoever had either left the child here and couldn't look after them or whatever, they thought it their duty to bring the child in. And essentially Thea and Zuko adopted Livia and have raised her as their own ever since. It makes mention of the fact in this time that the two of them are unsure whether or not they should tell Livia anything. And
Okay.
you're almost sitting down now reading this book, and as you do, Zuko turns the corner to the open door and just sees you reading it.
Oh shit.
Do you do anything specific before he speaks?
Well, he sees me reading it.
He sees you at the desk of
He
the
sees me at the desk.
with the open book
Well,
in
I'm
front
going
of you.
to, I'm going to obviously close the book to. I'm going to close the book to show him that I'm, that I'm done reading it. But it'll make no difference to the outcome.
So you close it, just generally out of respect a little bit here. He looks at you and just says, "How much of that did you read?"
Not much, but are you going to tell her?
Well, we didn't. And I'd like to keep it that way if it's okay. I'd prefer you didn't tell her either. She's our daughter, and we don't intend to tell her of her origins outside of the temple.
Okay. But she obviously is not from. She's not from here. Or we don't. Her origin is not from here. Surely she should be made aware of this at some point.
Not
Can't-
from where. She was left in Stalvern. I assume her parents simply couldn't care for her and left her at a temple that they knew she'd be looked after.
Okay. Why did you keep this book open for someone to read?
To be honest, when we saw her earlier and your group, it made me a little bit nostalgic, and I was reading it myself. You're in my room, you do know that, right?
Am I really in this room?
You're in their room. In your exhausted state, you've walked into Thea and Zuko's room. That's why the bed's so big.
Oh, fair enough. Look, I apologize for stumbling into your room. I'm pretty exhausted and I'm just looking for someone to rest. I didn't mean to read. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it, but this is not my business. I only met her along my journey. If you need me to keep it a secret, then I will.
I would ask that you do that.
All right.
Your room is over there, and he points to a different door on the same kind of landing. If you wouldn't mind.
Okay. Thanks. All right, I'm gonna go.
Rest up. As you gather your things and cross over to your room, you open the door to a slightly smaller room, single bed. It still has a dresser to the side, same as the one that they had in their room, but it looks more one-person sized rather than potentially two-person sized. I'm going to throw us back into the main room. One sec.
Okay.
Do you consistently say that custard is way better?
Custard donuts are the best donuts.
Oh.
They are the best. Thank
No!
you.
Hell
Yes,
yeah,
they are.
jam.
No, jam. If I had to choose between the two, it'd have to be custard.
Yeah, literally, it's always custard.
No, depends on the day of the week. Sorry, we were talking about food in case you haven't gathered.
How unusual.
I know, it's so unlike me.
Yeah.
So Vice, are you basically just heading to sleep at this point?
I think after that I need to sleep.
Okay.
Oh god, what happened?
The mayor and Livia.
Josh killed him.
It takes... I can't remember how long I said it would take to walk the width of the city. You're having to pass through a portion of the market square, so I'm going to say that it's going to take you guys at least a couple hours to get back. Did we say 2 hours from the inn you were at to get to where you got to with Elkas? I think it was something like that. Because you're not going like deep into the shadows, and you're not having to go millions of miles through the market square to get to the temple. I think it was a few hours. For the sake of it, I'm just going to say that it's 12:30 a.m. by the time you guys reach the temple.
Yeah.
The doors aren't locked or anything, but you kind of push your way in and you find nobody downstairs. Everyone seems to have generally gone to sleep from what you can tell.
Yeah, should go upstairs to bed, probably, if there's a room.
Yeah, we already bagged rooms earlier.
Yeah, you're
Okay.
aware
I didn't
of the
know if
setup.
the,
Livia.
first come, first served thing, because, I didn't know. But cool.
Livia, you know which one is your parents' room, and there's 5 rooms surrounding that room. Theirs is kind of second on the right, and there's 3 on the left, 3 on the right.
Okay.
So you guys just
go
head
to
over
bed.
there and go to sleep?
That was the plan.
Okay, cool.
It's late.
It's still only been like, what, a day since we lost Low Hill? I feel like
yeah.
I feel like it was yesterday.
Well, technically it's the 2nd now, so that was, basically yesterday, day before.
Yeah. My point is, I feel like we're still quite emotionally drained and stuff. Despite coming to Stalvern and seeing my parents, I don't know. It's only been a few days. So yes, this is
Okay,
bed.
bear with me.
Bedtime.
Cool. Okay. So, Elkas, are you doing anything?
Yeah, what I want to do is I want to see if there's a way up to the roof.
Okay. This is a fairly sizable inn. Um,
Like 2,000 way.
say that again.
Hmm?
Sent back to his.
Oh, right, yeah.
This is a different thing, though.
Yeah, it's a fairly sizable inn. There are windows. It's not the most well made place, but it's sturdy. It's just not overly pretty.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's windows and all sorts. I would say it's at least 3 stories. This inn, 2 of rooms and 1 being the tavern downstairs.
Is there an easy way to reach the roof? And is the roof more of a slanted thing? Is there like a flat bit at the top?
It's slanted with a flat bit in the top. Yeah. It depends what you define as an easy way. There's no rope hook hanging off the edge.
No, I mean, like I said, like a ladder going up to like a hatch or something.
No.
Well, I wish to get up there somehow.
Okay, that's really down to you.
Through my window, then.
You're going to go through your window?
Yes.
Okay, so as you kind of lean out your window, you see that you're on the first floor. There's a floor above you, and then you can see the edge of the roof that just kind of tips over the edge of the wall that makes up the outer walls of the building. It's pretty dark, and kind of pitch black of night. You're in the shadows, which is a relatively congested area as well. The streets are lit by candlelight in glass sculptures that kind of represent modern day lampposts-ish. You're at about their height, so you could kind of get onto one of those. Probably not very easily, and they don't look like the sturdiest thing on the planet. But there's no sort of like vines or anything like that. It's just simple white stone.
Cool. Climb.
There isn't really... I mean, you could try. It's going to be incredibly difficult. There isn't really anything to grip to.
Jump.
Please don't die.
Okay, cool. So roll a dex save for me. Or well, are you starting with attempting to climb before you jump?
I mean, right. How far up is the window from me? Like,
So what if you're leaning out your window? Are you looking for the one above?
yeah.
There isn't one directly above, but I would say if you kind of look over and you see one at a different section of the same wall, it's probably
Big.
it's going to be about like 3 or 4 feet up from them, and then the base of it or the top of it would go up. So it's probably about, I want to say 12 feet to the base of the window.
I just get uncomfortable, go back inside, and then just like leave the building.
Okay. So you head out the front. You catch the tiefling barman just resting on a chair in the back. You see a few people that seem to have basically fallen asleep downstairs as well. And you pass through. You head out the front, and you are in the alleyways of the shadows.
I wish to find a nice place to rest, but somewhat vaguely comfortable.
Okay.
Just hovel.
You know you have a room at this inn. I just want to...
Have you read my backstory, Josh? You should know why I'm doing this.
I have, but I'm just making sure. There's usually an element that comes before finding the place, but that's fine. Okay, so you could kind of make that in your room. But you can find crates and everything just generally dotted around. If you go round the Cloak and Flagon, there is what appears to be a service entrance, which has quite a few sort of boxes and things like that. There are... It looks as though they are... they probably contain alcohol, wine and stuff, and you would assume that kind of thing would probably be padded inside so that they don't break. You're not in the wilds.
It's better than that. So I'm gonna go in. I'm gonna sort of get myself lent up near boxes and stuff, and have my nice little trancey sleep.
Okay, cool. Alright, so you rest there. I feel like maybe I need to reread your backstory.
Not the backstory. I think it's in the I swear we wrote it down.
I hope this doesn't open on the right. Oh, good, it didn't.
Did we not write it down?
I'm just checking. I don't think so.
No shit, we didn't write it down.
Yeah, I didn't really have any recollection of what you were going for.
It's the thing where I don't like to sleep inside of like stone buildings and stuff and
We
like
must-
civilized.
Yeah, we must not have properly written it down. But you essentially have an affinity for nature and you're uncomfortable in, high society type situations. So I get what you're going for. I had forgotten that because it wasn't on there, and I've read your character sheet since. Well, it's been weeks now since you made your character.
I'm surprised because I remembered that, but I forgot that we.
I remember talking about it now that you mention it, but that's fine. I would say that this probably doesn't suffice, but the open air is better for you than the enclosed room, so you decide to rest here nonetheless.
I don't mind the lack of like benefits. I'm just like.
That's fine. I would say that it's probably going to take you a bit longer than it otherwise would to get a proper full rest, and I'm going to jump us to about 8 AM the next day. It was already the same day, but still. Not in LCAS time. So, yeah, the three of you wake up. It's early in the morning and the light has started to come through. Elkas, you're sort of taken out of your trance by the light properly getting through to you, despite the thin cracks above of the shadows. It does permeate and light the place. The three of you have windows in your rooms, and the same thing sort of happens, and you rise with the sun a little bit, and rest for a little bit longer before properly waking and getting up. What do you guys want to do? We'll go to Nemea, Vice, and Livia.
We should tell Vice all about, us meeting Alcus and showing him the thing about the Heart of Dawn and us wanting to meet him in the marketplace.
Yep.
That's what we do.
Go do that.
With Livia.
Okay. So what do you tell him, specifically? Just generally all that stuff?
Yeah, what happened? We went to this pub and stuff, and we saw him there, and we spoke to him, and...
Oh no, we did write it down. It's right below here. Never mind. Sorry,
Oh,
continue.
I couldn't see it. So, Vice, are you aware of all the stuff they're talking about?
No.
I didn't think you were paying attention whilst it was their bit, so Nemea, you're probably going to have to actually tell him if you want him to know.
Okay. I can't remember the specifics. Livia, do you remember where did we go? We were in a pub.
No, well, we went to an inn where Elkas was staying, and
Okay.
he spoke to us about this group called, I think they're called the Heart of Dawn, and apparently they ransacked his tribe, and he ended up finding out that someone in the tribe was like from the Heart of Dawn, so they figured they caught this person, interrogated him, and basically they've been ransacking tribes all over the place, hurting people. Me and Nemea, it sounds like it was the kind of thing that Lael described to his tribe. These people, I don't know if they're linked to anything that we've already been looking into. And he basically said that he's come here to try and track them down and find out what they're doing and what's going on, because they're hurting a lot of people. And he basically asked if we wanted to support him and help him. To which we kind of said yeah.
Vice, give me a flat history roll, because I'm giving you advantage, but you still have disadvantage. I'm also trying to change the fucking music, but it won't play what I'm skipping it to. Oh, it's because that is 29 songs, apparently. Okay, let's
What the
stop
hell,
altogether.
man?
And then play this.
Dude, I'm trying to roll, but all the notifications keep popping up in the corner.
You shouldn't be rolling on Discord, so...
No, I'm not rolling on Discord. The notifications keep popping up on my desktop.
Which
You know,
ones?
bottom.
Oh, what, saying that the music's
di-
changed?
Yeah, all the. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know it did that. Maybe it's disconnect. Sorry. Carry on whilst I try and make the bot do its thing. How do I just listen to this? Copy video URL.
There you go.
15, did you say?
15. Yes.
It's still just giving me the fucking playlist. I just want this one track. Sorry, bear with me whilst I just try and make this work.
Oh, Leo.
Hmm.
I'm almost done.
Thank you.
Do I need to refresh YouTube? If this plays the whole thing anyway, I'm gonna be upset. Oh wait, first we need to disconnect. Because I don't know how to clear the queue. There we go. Ah, stupid bot and how it works. Okay, so on a 15 Vice, hearing the Heart of Dawn specifically, you are reminded of a message that you got not too long ago. Let me find it.
I've got it. Got it.
Do you have it?
Yeah, I've got it.
Do you want to read it?
Yeah. Vice, the Heart of Dawn found out Fina doesn't know anything. Don't try to find her. They can't get to you. No, wait. And then that's it. It's over.
Okay, so yeah, hearing the Heart of Dawn, you are reminded of that message that you mysteriously received straight to your brain.
Yeah. Great. Okay. So the Heart of Dawn, you say? Like, and I kind of want to tell the guys the message.
Okay.
So I heard the voice. I heard a voice in my head a little while back. This is before Leo. We lost Leo. And I can't remember when it was actually. When was it? Was it when we were dealing with that Demon King? Demon King thing?
With Shan.
So, it was Shan, yeah.
I think it was after Shan.
Was it?
Yeah,
When
it was
everyone
just before
voices?
Down Warden.
Okay.
Yes, yeah, it was session 21. It was just before Down Warden.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what that message was, but just you guys saying Heart of Dawn, you know, I need to find out. So, whatever, if you guys are going to pursue Heart of Dawn, I'm totally down.
Well, yeah. Sounds like we need to.
Yeah, I think they know something about what I'm doing. I have to.
Wow, that's pretty heavy. Where did this happen?
It happened just when we were at is it God Down Warden.
Yeah.
Warden.
In terms of the
Yeah,
calendar, it was 3 days ago.
Yeah. Was it after we had defeated those guys is it I forgot the name now. The mayor? Was it after?
No, it was as you entered Down Warden.
Oh, okay. So
We did a month's worth of downtime. Nemea had a thing, you had a thing, and then you guys went into Down Warden.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. So it was just before we entered Down Warden then. I don't know what happened. I don't know how it happened. Was contacted by somebody, someone that I didn't know. It was a female, and they were talking to me as if they were communicating to me, like
in your head.
as in my head, as in telepathically talking to me.
Can I do?
Yeah, I was going to say, and Nemea is as well. Roll Arcana.
Ooh, I love a bit of Arcana.
Don't roll Arcana very often, to be fair.
Love it. 22. I love Arcana. Good roll.
Oh yeah.
Ah.
I love how you love
Oh,
Arcana.
both of you. Okay,
20.
bear with me.
+1 as well. I'll take that.
Damn, you guys really want to help me.
So, the both of you are familiar with a spell called Sending. Nemea, you're aware of it as a spell that's kind of a little bit adjacent to your abilities. It's not something that you would really attempt to try yourself. Livia, you are aware of it as something that would potentially interest you. It's a relatively strong spell, and it simply allows somebody to send a message to somebody that they're familiar with. Nemea, however, having had friends in the past amidst your tribe and whatnot that were practicing magic a little bit, you're aware of the fact that if somebody receives one such message, they have the opportunity to reply.
Ah.
So
Do you
can I
want
ask a question?
Uh-huh.
Just like what you just said. So you're saying that the person who sent me this message would have to be not just the person, but if this message is sent to somebody, they kind of know this person.
They simply have to be familiar with you. What level of familiarity is required is dependent on how good the person is with
Right.
their
Okay.
abilities to cast spells.
Okay. All right. Never mind. That's fine.
So, Nemea, do you mention the fact that he could have responded?
Yes, I want to tell him that I know this spell, and you can, in fact, reply as soon as they've sent it to you. Did you
No
do?
way. I didn't do that. I didn't know. I didn't know that.
How do you even do that? You just talk to yourself in your head?
Pretty much.
Yes.
So what does that mean? Does that mean?
Well, I guess it means that if they say it again, then make sure you reply.
Okay, so that means that obviously it was at that moment and at that moment only.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. It also means that they are familiar with you.
Okay.
So you've met this person, whether how brief it could have been.
You also know that message was 3 days ago.
Yeah. Okay. Well. All right. Well, I don't know what this person was talking about. She said something about the Heart of Dawn found out about Fina, but
Found out what?
they found out that Fina doesn't know anything. But I'm thinking, first of all, what does she know? And second of all, why is she involved with the Heart of Dawn? So
I don't know. Is it something to do with her past? What was her past like, Vice?
Carry on, GM, please.
She lived a particularly simple lifestyle. One would call it not very fleshed out.
Nondescript.
No, genuinely.
She's what we call a background.
Roll for relationship, and I'll tell you how much she told
There you
you.
go.
Roll for me insight, Vice. Roll insight and make it a flat roll. Oh, okay, cool. Good time to nat 20. So
Yeah, on your own fucking wife.
I'm gonna need to check
Hey,
something then.
listen. Right.
Struck a nerve there.
Sometimes
He remembers everything.
I know my wife really well,
sometimes
apparently.
It's just about the body. Sometimes it's just about the body. Yeah. It's like, all right.
She was hot as fuck.
It was hot as fuck.
So I married her.
Such a big personality.
Ample. An
Personality.
ample friendliness.
Huge
Rack of
personality.
emotions.
In many ways, she had a huge personality.
Hmm.
2 ways specifically.
Well, 3.
Oh.
Hello.
She's not the chick from that Mars film with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Can't remember what that's called.
Not the boss from that one really crappy Duke Nukem game.
So, Vice, Fina had told you that she'd spent some time in the Wandering Wood, that she'd been in Morhen for a short while, and she didn't really go much into her past beyond that. She seemed to close up about it a little bit whenever you would ask her about it. And there was an element of her being worried about it a little bit. And then she would kind of think more on the future, and she would get a bit happier and a bit more hopeful. Eventually you guys began dating and dated for you were a couple for like 2 years. After that period you got married, and you were married, well, technically still married, but you were married for 2 years before she left Moorhen. And she left Moorhen by simply leaving you what she left you and disappearing. And that was the last you knew.
Okay. Yeah, there you go, guys. That's what I know. Do I need to say it back to them?
No, it's fine.
We had. Wow, I'm so glad you know who your wife is. Amazing.
Yeah, right? Well, sometimes, I don't think about the past, No, you guys don't know what I've been up to in the past. I don't know what you guys have done in the past. You think about the now, right? You think about now. And that's what it was. I met her. I tried to get information out of her, and then I just grew to liking her, and then eventually loving her, who she was at the time in Moorhen. Nothing more. That's it.
You'll always have Moorhen.
Yes.
We'd always have Moorhen.
You're even
So do
allowed
you know-
back now.
Do we know if she's
I
still?
am.
Do you know what, Namea?
Is she still alive?
Vice?
I
Do you know?
I'd like to think so. I think off the back of that message that I received 3 days ago, surely she must be, right? Surely,
Yeah.
and I can feel
Obviously.
it. I can feel that she is. So
Connected.
we're connected, no matter what. Like you and Lael,
A lot
Oh.
of assumptions about these two characters here.
What are you saying?
Our love didn't blossom. My Laels had never had the chance.
It's
Play live and have you.
Oh, true. Lael probably didn't. He probably did not care.
Lael probably didn't.
I
I
like how
just
you're
loved
getting
the barman.
like retroactively friend zoned from the beyond. Namea just thinks off to herself for a moment and then has a look of sadness.
Oh. I'll return to the barkeep in Aegis. He's my love.
Baron.
Yeah.
So you guys, having had this conversation, don't have much of a plan, it seems.
No.
You have what you know in that there are several notices that you guys made notes about. Arello Ava is still in full swing, though you're uncertain. Livio, specifically, you're uncertain as to why it's so underwhelming this time round. Alcas, you are awake and sort of just going back into your room, gathering your things. Is there anything the three of you want to do before you head out? Do you want to head out? Do you want to cry into your pillow for the whole day?
Well, I do want to find out. I mean, I remember there being a is it a bulletin or some sort of something like
The
that?
notice board.
Yeah, on the notice board about something about Gaston, a culinary champion or something like that.
The mayor made notes of every individual notice that was on that board, so you have the full information as to everything that was listed there. The one that you're referring to was about Gaston and his restaurant, and that he was essentially the best cook known to man, and that he would give 30 plat to anyone who could best him, but it costs 1 plat to enter.
Okay, so guys, I know, like, you know, I said how much I find my wife and stuff. I do really want to. I do also have this. I can't let someone think that they can cook better than me. I hope you guys understand.
I'm up for
We
it.
know you're okay.
As long as we get to eat some of the food.
I'd like to also take a chance. We haven't got a direction right now because this whole Heart of Dawn meeting place thing. Do we have any idea or any clue as to where that could be, and do we have any link at all?
No, but we were going to meet with Elkus in the marketplace and come up with a plan from there. He wanted to go up onto like a rooftop and see if we could see where people were gathering. something,
Okay.
so we could go and get him, and you can do your competition.
Okay. Cool. But I mean, I'm easy. I mean, I just want to. If there's any opportunity for us to earn some coin, right? And this is a big time. It's 30 platinum, guys.
Very important.
I mean, I don't know if I know this, but Olivia just lose a bunch of money.
She hasn't mentioned it.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to
I
buy.
completely forgot I got robbed on the way here.
No way.
Yeah, wait, like someone like hashed my like money pouch thing and just all over gone. Poof.
How much did you lose?
I like 1 plat 30 or something.
No way. Right. Oh god.
Totally way. All the way.
We see. This is even more of a reason that we. Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
No, I don't know.
Let's do it. Do it.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
Um,
So Elkas, you're heading towards the market square. You're specifically going to go to the stalls, because you guys didn't really set a very specific place.
Yeah, stalls.
I thought the market stalls are
yes. Stall.
the section.
Okay.
But it's a lot bigger than I thought it was.
Yeah.
My bad.
That's fine. You guys would have known the rough size of it. Livia would have explained it, and you'd have walked through big parts of it. So we'll just say that when you said the marketplace before, you were referring specifically to the sort of market stalls in the market square, the district, which I believe I mentioned are close to the fountain to Aquis, the daughter of Gaia, goddess of nature. Yep,
Yes.
that's what she is. So it takes you some time to get there, and it comes through to about 10 a.m. As you guys are heading on down over to the market area. It's in this time, Elkas, that you see, as you get there, the stalls are pretty much set up, and then as this group gets there, it kind of coincides. You haven't been there very long, essentially. Livia, can you roll history for me?
Yes.
You're the only one with prior knowledge about Stalvin.
I have prior knowledge of the past 2 days.
Yep.
13.
Okay. Gaston rings a bell for you as somebody that runs a restaurant in the Royal District. You can't quite recall the name of the restaurant, but you know that it's in the Royal District, not the Market Square. You can still meet up with Elkas and do anything else you want to do in the Market Square, though.
Okay.
And you walk close enough to the fountain that you do happen to catch his eye at a bit of a distance. And Vice, you loosely remember this guy from the night before. Vice, you're also now down to 2 points of exhaustion, having long rested.
Wonderful.
So your disadvantage on attack rolls and saving throws is gone. I am also going to make it slightly later. It's going to be 11 a.m. because with your speed being halved, you didn't get here as quickly as you otherwise would have. So what do you guys want to do upon seeing Elkas in the distance, relatively close to the fountain?
Go to Elkas.
Hello, Elkas.
I could need more than just we go to Elkas.
Hello. Good to see you again.
I'll just sort of give like a slight wave as I approach. Just hello. 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 Yeah. So, do we have an idea of where to start? You know the city more than anyone, Livia. Have I yet? Yeah.
I'm not sure you have.
I feel like the man. No, yeah, no.
Well, he hasn't met Vice.
Livia definitely mentioned her name.
He has met Vice. Livia, did you mention that you lived here? I think you did, right?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I said I
fair
grew
enough,
up.
fair enough.
When did he meet Vice?
In the bar the night before.
Yeah,
was-
he was there.
Oh, yeah, we did. Sorry.
So I've been spacing out. Has Vice gone to do his own thing, or is he
No,
accompanied?
he is with you too.
Okay, cool.
We're a whole unit again, and we're gonna go look.
I look over at him and I say, I trust you're feeling better than you seemed yesterday. You still seem...
Yeah.
drained, but
Yeah, I'm feeling
well.
a lot better. Thank you.
Did you tick off his exhaustion stuff?
He's down to 2. He has to tick it
Oh,
off.
okay.
I don't control his character sheet.
Is there anything that can help with exhaustion spell-wise?
Hang on.
I think
My
possibly.
character sheet. Yeah, I've taken it on my character sheet.
Yeah. So what do you guys want to do? You've gathered here in the center of the town. There's, it's much more bustling than the nighttime streets that you guys were walking through before, and especially more bustling than the shadows in general. You can see not too far from you. There are carts nearby, and where are they? Oh, I think I put them right last. Yeah, so there are 2 merchant stalls kind of knocking about the wider area that makes up this central point where the focus is the fountain. And then every building around it is either residential or a much bigger proper shop or proper store. Again, just in the distance you can start to hear the kind of ring of metal being hammered by the blacksmiths in the distance. You see a dragonborn woman and a gnomish woman of different ages kind of milling about their stalls, selling some things on to people, wishing them a good day, and they're within sort of earshot of you-ish. Like, not too far a walk. You can hear the
I
chatter.
guess we go ask around. Should we split up and go speak to people in stores and see if they've heard of anything?
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure. I'm just gonna keep an ear open if I can, please. On any weird. Oh, sorry, not an ear. An eye open on any weird activity.
Okay. If you guys want to just sort of stop somebody walking around, you can. That's pretty easy. If you want to head to one of the specific shops, you can. It's up to you. I will
Yeah,
list
shops.
the
Is
shops.
there a shop that I know where I know the like?
Did I buy a shield?
I believe you did. Yeah. You paid
Yeah.
20 gold for it. It was quite an ornate shield.
Yeah. Why I didn't put it down or write it anywhere. Put it somewhere.
Let's go in inns, taverns. Bear with me as I just give you guys a list of what there is. Blacksmiths. Your dog sounds squeaky.
Weak. Penis dagger.
No penis dagger.
Vince wants to talk about penis daggers.
Sorry, what?
Then on the chat, he's talking about penis daggers.
Penis daggers.
It's never gonna die. There you go. There are the general shops and things to frequent in Starvin.
Where's this?
Discord. Oh, I've put it in bot request. One sec, let me put it in Tales of Bela'Dun. There you go. So if you want to stop somebody, just let me know. If you want to go to a specific place, then fine.
Is there a specific place where I know the shopkeeper?
You would know all of them relatively well. How old are you? You've been here your entire life up until like 2 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like 29 or something.
Yeah, I'd say that you would know, maybe you'd know everyone in the market square at the very least. I would say because the temple's here, so that means.
Don't know, who would I be closest to?
So you know the Pint and Teller, you know Skullfist's Hammer, you know the Fletcher, you know the Jewelers, you know the major merchant shop, you know the Bakers, you know the Alchemist, which I didn't list accidentally, and you know the 2 people running these stalls.
Okay. I want to know about like if I would know like the concept of them properly.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the main merchants.
Okay, cool. Are the rest of you going with her?
We were going to split up.
I have this question to ask first.
Okay.
that's in the thing
in Roll20.
Is there something akin to a brothel within the Elven tribes?
He would know whether he would understand the concept of what a brothel is.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Probably not a specific establishment, but like the trade itself would exist, and they would probably frequent somewhere enough that, I mean, especially since it's in the shadows, you've probably heard about it by now. That's where you've been staying. Roll history for me, Elkas.
Yeah.
I'll just see if you've heard it. Okay. You know that there is one in the shadows. You don't know what it's called.
Okay. I'm just gonna sort of look over to the group and be like, I know one place that we could look. Information tends to flow through these kinds of places quite a bit.
Where?
A brothel.
Yep, that one's on you. I'm going to the merchants.
Yeah, maybe you and Vice could go. I'm
Alright, come on in. Let's go. Come on. It's been a while.
Come then, friend.
go do some male bonding. Goodbye.
They offer that there.
I'll go with Livia to the merchant.
Okay.
thing.
Let me just grab
go to-
the merchant stuff. One sec.
Oh dear.
Books. Don't open on the right. Good. There we go. And this. Cool. So, Livia and Nemea, you head over to where you remember the larger sort of central merchant's shop being. Much bigger than just the two stalls that kind of set up and pack up every day. As you get close, Livia, you remember the name as you see it on the side. It is called, if I can find it, it's called the Weary Wagon. And you remember that a human male, runs the place. Do you guys just head inside? Yeah, I'm going to take that grunt as a yes.
I didn't know if Sebi was going to say something.
Sorry, I was on mute.
Cool.
Oh.
So as you guys head inside, a kind of rotund-ish guy, short brown hair, turns to you and is like, "Hello! What can I get for you today?"
Information, if possible.
Of course, I can get you anything you want, especially for a price. What information are you after?
Is anyone around? Like, are there loads of people in here?
No, not at the moment. It's still a little early. People are coming in and out, but nobody's in here currently.
Okay. We just wanted to know if you'd heard of the Heart of Dawn. And I'm gonna like intensely watch his face to try and
Okay.
figure out.
You can roll insight if you want. He kind of takes a moment to think and goes, "No, I can't say I have. Nobody suggesting that they're from whatever that is when they buy things."
Not heard anyone talk about them, around.
No. 2 and a 1. Nobody has been talking anything about that. I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what kind of thing it is? It is a place?
Seems to be a group of people who who might be stirring up some trouble.
Sorry.
I want
I
to
see.
show him the little flyer thing that I have about the Heart of Dawn, and they know where to gather, and be like, "This is what we're looking for."
Ah, this is very cryptic. This was on the notice board, you said.
Yes.
I see. No, I can't say I've heard of anything like that. I simply sell to those who come through. Are you looking to buy anything?
Do you have any rations?
Oh, certainly, I have plenty. He goes to a box underneath a desk and can supply you with as many rations as you like.
I'm just gonna look at Nemea and smile.
Also, Livia, you need a coin purse.
Oh, you're right. I do. Do you have a coin purse?
Yes, they are very simple. I can get you one. And
Yes,
he
please.
sort of reaches about, puts one up on the table. It's sort of a medium-sized satchel that just pulls tight with a string, not on like a dice bag. The rations are 3 silver for one, and the coin purse is 5 silver.
I'll just take the coin purse, please.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nemea, do you need any rations?
Yes. I would like to buy. Let's say I'll buy 10 rations.
Okay, that will be 30 silver. Here you go, and he hands you them sort of in a close-knit pile.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. The best of luck with your group.
Thank you for your help.
Vice and Elkas, as you guys head over to the brothel, it's going to take you some time to get there. It'll be a bit of a journey. Nemea and Livy, are you doing anything else in the market square as they're on their way over?
I just give Livia her money back before I forget. I'm gonna delete it.
Okay.
Thanks. Did you want to go to the jewelers? See if there are any gems, Nemea?
Yeah, actually, that'd be really handy. Thank you. And we could see if they know anything as well.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in another part of the market square, so it'll take you some time to get there as well. Gets to about 2 p.m. As you both collectively reach where you're reaching. Actually, that's maybe a bit too much. I'm going to make it 1 p.m. There we go. So Vice and Elkas, you reach the brothel, which Elkas, you heard somebody saying that they'd had like an amazing time as they'd come out of it, and you assumed roughly where it was from the opposite direction of where that person was walking from, and it was that talk that led you to believe that there was one there, unless you wish to have frequented it previously, and that's your choice.
Nope.
As you head that way, you see a sign on the above the door that says Sinon House. It's written in sort of ornate gold and purple writing,
Cool.
and there are silks covering the larger windows so that you can't properly see in.
Well, I guess we should go inside.
Yeah.
Feel free to enjoy yourself if you miss, but we're
I
here
don't
for
know.
information purposes only.
Well, I mean, yeah, of course. Come on. What did you think I was?
I want to roll
I'm
inside.
I'm a married man.
You can
Just
roll
letting you
inside.
know. Who's rolling inside? Sorry.
Elkas.
On what? On me?
Yes.
The hell?
See if you tell the truth about not wanting to have fun. Let's see. Oh yes.
What the hell? That's so high.
Such
Okay.
shit.
He seems perfectly genuine from what you can tell.
Okay.
I just sort of nod. Go. Okay.
It's a married man.
And yeah, approach the brothel.
Cool. I follow Elkas, shaking my head with him.
Cool. As you guys head in, sorry, bear with me. Go away. There we go. You open the door, and immediately there are sort of half-naked elven women, human women. You see a few men being carted off down to other rooms. Some of them are just sitting on nice, large sofas as these women just walk around. A woman who's slightly older, fully clothed, comes close to you, and you see that she's a half-elf, and she says, "Hello, welcome to Sinon House. What takes your fancy?" And she just kind of looks around the room.
Who here gets the most interesting customers?
I see. It's not often we get a request for somebody that sees a number of customers. We don't pry too much as to the nature of our clientele, but I can certainly set you up with somebody that works regularly.
That would be fine. How much would it cost?
It depends how long you wanted to spend some time with her.
Well, how about we meet her and then we'll be able to gauge our time.
Oh, you both wish to spend some time with her?
I can spend some time with her alone. You can find another.
Whatever works for you is fine.
I
And
can
she
find another.
she turns around and
What if I
goes
want
to
this
speak to a
one?
girl.
I pull Vice aside for a moment. I'm just like, we need to speak to different people. This is gonna be faster if we, find different people to get different information from.
Okay.
You don't know Vice very well, just saying.
Yeah, I know. It's like I'm like looking at you like, why are you grabbing me for? And I get this feeling the feeling of hatred I had once for another.
We thought you dealt with that. We thought you resolved those issues. Bear with me. I did want to add to this list previously, but I didn't get a chance.
Okay.
So you asked for 2 girls, yeah?
Yes.
Just checking. Don't know what you're into.
Oh, Cass, you're getting 2 girls, yeah?
One for me, one for you.
Okay.
I just sort of whisper under my breath, you're really not good at this information gathering thing, are you?
Listen, yeah. Right? I didn't say I wanted to come here, just so you know.
You agreed.
I agreed because I thought, let's spend some quality time together. Hey, listen, we're not having this
Okay, so she brings back 2 girls. Oh, sorry, she brings back 1 girl because at the time you'd only really spoken about the 1 girl, and it's a half-elf girl who looks relatively young, and she immediately comes up to you, Vice, and sort of strokes a hand down your face and looks you up and down and just turns back to the woman who's fully clothed and says, I wouldn't mind taking this job. Absolutely fine.
God. Alright. Okay. Sure, well, looks like you're looking for someone else yourself then.
She slaps you on the butt, Vice, and just goes, this way, and kind of like grabs your hand and pulls you to follow her.
Okay. Fine.
As you have this conversation and Elkas, you're still there, the woman looks at you, Elkas, and just says, I'm sorry, my understanding was you both wanted to spend some time with the same girl. I can set you up with somebody else if you'd like.
Yes, I would not like to spend time with the same girl. That's
Not a problem. Come this way. And she shows you to a separate room and kind of motions for you to head on in. You go through the door.
Thank you. Yes, I
There's a
proceeded.
human girl in there that looks even younger than the half-elf that Vice went off with. Although maybe not to you. I don't know your exact age.
I was 120, I think.
Okay, so
Ooh,
like
what?
yeah, perfectly mature. He's an elf. Yeah, she
100.
looks young.
I sort of like do a sort of respectful bow. Just hello there. I understand they'll be spending some time with you this evening.
Of
Man,
course,
you don't need to treat
if you
them
have
with
the coin.
respect.
How much will it cost? But like
This evening?
an hour.
1 sec.
I thought it was morning.
It is about 2 p.m. and this place is 24/7. Let me just
Yeah,
check
no, I
here.
just didn't realise we'd lost a whole day.
You haven't lost a whole day.
Oh.
It takes time to get around the town. You walked for a couple hours to get to the centre of the market. You walked a couple hours to get to the jewelers, and we haven't come back to you yet.
Okay.
It's a golden hour.
1 gold now, that's fine.
Yeah.
I just give 2 golds so I can spend 2 hours
Okay.
and go over to sit next to the lady and say, my name is Elkas. What is yours?
I'm not massively one for talk, but my name is Cinny, if it helps.
Well, I sort of let out like a slight giggle. It seems like you may not enjoy this arrangement.
You can assume that she's basically all over you throughout the conversation.
I like edging her off of me, just like this is not why I'm here. I'm here to acquire some information.
One sec. I see. You pay well just for information. You know you could get both for 2 gold.
Unfortunately, I'm not interested in
Women.
Okay. She kind of looks at you and she says, I don't think I can help you then. Where did you put the gold that you gave? You gave it to her, right?
Yeah.
Well, let me see if I can get you something for your coin. And she steps out of the room. Vice, what are you doing?
I'm enjoying my dance.
Okay.
Well, first of all,
It lasts a short while and then begins to turn into somewhat more than a dance.
okay. In what way?
Hey, yeah.
It is of a sexual nature,
No.
Vice.
What?
Remember that one game, Sevi, with the Reddit people?
Oh god.
What happened? What's going on?
We me and Darren joined a random game with like dudes off the internet, and like the very first like session 0, one of the dudes out of nowhere, we were talking about like roughly what our characters would be like to see if we'd gel, because it was like 5 players, I think. Me and Darren were both players, and this one dude off Reddit was just like, oh, I do have like one request, I don't want there to be any sex. And like it just came out of nowhere. We were just having a normal conversation about like what our characters would roughly, their backgrounds would be and stuff, and the guy was like, yeah, no, I don't want any sex scenes, like I don't want any of it described. And like really, he had been scarred by something in his previous experience. And me and Darren were just like, yeah, no, well, that's fine. Like there's also the old woman with Sal in Matt's campaign, Sevi.
Yep. That's
Oh.
true.
Ooh.
Sal likes some old.
We need
Yep.
to I want a baby.
So you can assume the conversation is turning sexual, Vice. If you don't want me to fade to
Okay.
black, then you might want to do more than just look at this woman.
No. I mean, I will continue to shower her with some.
He's not going to interrogate her at all, is he?
I'm not. What do you mean? Of course,
The mayor's not here. Shower her with what?
I'm gonna
Because
shower.
it's very
shower her
specific
with-
how this sentence ends.
No, that's okay. Alright, so I'm gonna ask her like, so, how long have you been here for? How long have you been doing this for? You know, forget the whole sexy voice, sexy stuff. Just, you know, I've enjoyed myself up until this point.
Trying it with Skittles.
She kind of motions for you, like she looks you up and down and kind of stands a little bit disappointed and like puts her hand out waiting for coin.
What? Okay, I'm gonna give her a coin then.
What colour is the coin that you give her?
I'll give her a copper coin. No, I'm joking. I'll give her a gold coin.
Okay.
Say and say, you know, if it's gonna cost this much just to find out how long you, God knows what else is gonna cost to get more, speak to you about other things.
Not at all. This gold buys you the hour. I have no
Right.
issue with answering your questions. I've worked here for 8 years.
8 years. Okay. Wow, that's a long time. It's a long time. So, like, have you you seen many people coming through?
You're not the first of the day, if that's what you're asking.
No. I mean, anyone mysterious? Anyone? You know, surely I can't be any. You know, I can't be a mysterious character to you, right?
I've rolled it twice and it fell off the table both times. There we go. She looks at you and just says, you're plenty mysterious, of course. I suppose I've had some odd stories, but we don't tend to pass that sort of thing on. Kind of motion.
Okay.
She looks at her hand, kind of playing with the
Okay.
coin slightly, but it's not obvious, but it's slightly obvious.
Okay. Well, I'd say, well, how how about we do a trade and I'll give her for passing on that story.
You cut out a little bit. You're going to give her what for the story?
I'll give her a gold
You
for
say 1 gold.
1 gold to pass on her
Okay,
story.
cool. So you give her another gold. She tells you a story about older guy that was like super into anything to do with cats, and just sort of tells you like a weird, not so much horror story, but he had some strange cat fetish. Doesn't seem to be specifically what you're after, but I don't know massively what you're after.
It's not. So I'm gonna say, okay. So that's not exactly what I was expecting.
Well, we can sit here and you can tell me story. I can tell you stories
Okay.
all day, all the time, or you can tell me what you're after.
So I'm
and
after
maybe...
some information. I'm gonna tell you straight then. I'm after some information. I'm trying to find the heart. Is it the Heart of Dawn? Sorry, the Heart of Dawn.
Her face goes a bit
No.
blank for a moment, and she looks at you and kind of like moves away from you a bit, and just says, "You're not with them, are you?"
No. You can trust me. I'm not from around here. I'm just trying to track them down.
All I know is that a few people came in recently, got quite drunk. They didn't seem to be particularly happy with whatever they were doing here. Some of them got a bit rough with the other girls, and one of them hasn't been back into work since.
Okay. And who's this girl?
Her name's Cardi. I don't know what happened to her.
Cardi. Okay. Does she live close by? You know.
And those of us that don't just stay here tend to live in the residential housing in the shadows.
Okay. When was the last time you saw her? This Cardi?
About a week ago.
About a week ago. So did you see these people that she was with? Can you describe anyone?
They wore gowns and hoods. Most of them seemed to be human, predominantly men. There was only 2 or 3 of them here.
2 or 3. Anything about them that you can remember? Any distinct marks or anything on their face, anything on their hands?
I wasn't unlucky enough to spend too much time with them.
Okay.
And I had my own customers that night.
Fair enough. Okay. So her name's Cardi. What did she look like, Cardi?
She was a human, short brunette hair, very pretty, light skin, not too tall.
Oh, mate. Not tall. Okay. Skin. Okay. And how do I get to residential from here? In the shadows?
She kind of motions to her hand once more.
Okay. All right. Okay. I'm gonna give her 1 more gold then. Say, look, you've been really helpful.
I assume you're heading out after this.
I'll be leaving.
And she takes the coin when you confirm that you're like not after anything else, and she describes the rough direction towards some of the more built-up areas in the shadows that is mostly just houses.
Okay. Do I hear that description?
Yeah, she gives you the description.
Okay.
So you know the way to these houses.
Okay.
It's deeper into the shadows, further away from the market square, about an hour's walk.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thanks for your help. I didn't even catch her name.
Nia.
Nia. Nia. Thank you. And I get up and leave.
She's kind of like a little bit shocked by the fact that you were willing to pay so much for like 10 minutes after the dance, and then
Yeah, I got my dance, mate.
yeah,
Yeah.
she's then just sort of left in the room as you leave. Elkas, did you leave after not really getting much information, or she didn't come back with anyone yet?
She hasn't come back
Yeah,
yet.
she
Yeah, she hasn't come back. So the door to your room opens, and it's the woman that welcomed you at the door. She just says, "I understand there's a bit of an issue. I'm sure we can resolve it."
I just sort of placed my hand over my face, and I'm just like, it's fine. I'll just leave. Because my attempts have not been fruitful.
Very well. We hope to see you again. I hope there wasn't any problem.
No, it's fine.
Enjoy your day. She kind of steps out of the way. You already see the girl you were with speaking to another guy, like up some stairs in the distance. You see Vice. Actually, you don't see Vice. You see Vice about 15 minutes later, coming out of a room. He's been in there for about 20 minutes total.
I just sort of look with a kind of look of just slight, I don't know what the word is that I'm looking for.
Disappointment.
Somewhat, yeah. And just like, I hope your attempts were more fruitful.
Okay. I'm gonna just look over at sorry, I forgot your name.
Salbert.
We look like
Elkas.
I didn't say Elkas, I forgot your name. Yeah, I'm just gonna look over at El, give him a nod, and then shift.
Did you say you leave because you cut out a bit at the end?
I said I'm gonna look at him,
Uh-huh.
give him the old winky wink, right? And then say, "Come on, mate." Well, no, I'm not. Give him a signal. Let's go.
Okay, cool. So you guys head out of the brothel. Nemea and Livia, you get to the jewelers about 20 minutes before they leave. So roughly the time that they got to their place. The jewelers is... So you see a sign that says the sun on the sea. And Livia, you remember the name of this person purely because of the flyer that you guys saw on the notice board. Mentioning Merriman looking to purchase jewels that are not amidst her collection for 20% increased price. As you head in, a bell rings and there are a few people sort of milling about. It's kind of, ice cream stalls that have like the ice cream under the glass and it's like sort of sorted by colour almost. It's like that, but instead of ice cream in the tubs, it's just gems, and they're a bit shallower. They're about half the depth. But she has many gems here. Probably a lot less than half the depth actually. You can see the base that they're sitting on below. But if you were to, even if you took a sort of like the full tray of the cheapest gems, you'd have like 400 gold's worth of gems.
400 gold.
And there's a mixture of everything in terms of the gems. But it seems to be... roll nature for me. I don't know if that's the right thing. It's under intelligence, so we'll go for it. Livia as well.
What am I rolling, sorry?
Nature.
Yeah.
15.
Okay. So both of you are familiar with a number of the gems that you see: azurite, blue quartz, turquoise, malachite, moss agate. There's some obsidian and tiger eye as well. You see others that you don't remember the names of. In smaller quantities, on higher shelves, you see some moonstone, citrine, and bloodstone. And then behind the counter, and the counter seems to be slightly more reinforced. You can see a single gem on like a cushion, 3 different gems: a topaz, a black pearl, and a emerald in the center of the 3. Nemea, you know that emerald in particular costs 1,000 gold.
I'm not buying that.
That's crazy. Wow.
I want to walk up to her and just say hi. I'm an enchanter. What are your cheapest gems?
Hello, that's fantastic. I hope you're not practicing in the city at the moment, though. And she kind of looks around.
No. Yeah,
course,
definitely
of
not.
course.
Only outside.
Well, for the cheapest gems, I could do them at 12 gold for one. And I have pretty much everything available for that sort of price. Do you purchase these sorts of items regularly?
I'm new to buying them. It's my first time actually.
Do you have
So-
any gems of interest?
No, I only have some gem dust.
Ah, I see.
Right.
I've heard that's common amongst enchanters.
Yes. I've run out of gems.
You may know, yeah, that's fine.
I'm gonna glare at her like, shut up.
Oh, he's trying to make
You may know
conversation.
Benjamin. Have you met him?
No, I just look at Livia and say, "Have you heard of Benjamin?" As she's
Let
lived
me have a
a
think.
whole
Roll history. Okay. You have heard of an older fellow by the name of Benjamin, but you're not sure what the relevance is.
Maybe? I'm not too sure what he's about though.
Oh, he's she looks around and there's 2 other customers in the store, and as one of them, she sees the face of one and is immediately put at ease, and the other one has her back to her, and she just goes, "Excuse me," and this person turns around. It's a man, and she says, "One sec." He turns around and she goes, "Ah, Raldi, sorry, I just wanted to make sure who it was. Carry on, dear." And then she looks back at you 2 and she says, "Don't worry, not everybody is as strict with these new rules as everyone else. Just don't go talking about it beyond these doors." Benjamin's an enchanter, though not at the moment. Obviously, they've shut down his shop. Fortunately, I've been able to stay open under the guise of simply selling pretty items, and to be honest with you, that's sort of the extent of my skill anyway.
Okay.
But certainly, if you don't have anything of interest, I'm happy to sell. I've got plenty of items on the lower end of the scale in terms of coin.
Yes, please. I'd like to just, buy a couple of those.
Anything in particular?
No. Anything will do. Your cheapest ones.
Okay. Do you have a color in mind?
No. You may pick.
Okay. One moment. She goes over to a collection of very small black stones,
Ooh.
and she runs her finger along the glass that is covering them. Roll for me Arcana, the both of you.
Ha! 23.
Is that me as well? Sorry.
You're there too. Okay. So the both of you see like a slight purple sparkle follow her finger as she runs it over the glass. And as she does this, she reaches through the glass and kind of stops for a moment, brings her hand back out, just turns back to you, Nemea, and says, "Sorry, how many exactly?"
She said they're about 12 gold, right?
Each.
Each, yeah. 5?
Certainly. And she reaches down, gathers 5, pulls them back out. She runs her other finger in the same place but in the opposite direction, and the sparks kind of follow it discreetly. And then the glass is once more there. Well, she doesn't try and put her hand through it again. And she comes back over to you and hands you the 5 obsidian gems. 60 gold, if you please.
Yes, I hand that to her.
Okay. Anything else I could do for you at all?
We are actually looking for some information. If you wouldn't
Okay.
mind asking you a couple of questions.
Of
And
course.
I show her the flyer from the Heart of Dawn.
I see.
And then kind of gesture to Livia because she's much better at explaining what's going on.
What? No, jog on.
Ah,
I'm not doing talking every single time we go somewhere.
okay.
No, I'm not too familiar with this, I'm afraid.
didn't
Nobody, by that name coming into here?
Nothing at all? You'd never heard of them?
What is it? Is it a group, or...?
We know they're a group making trouble, and
I see.
they're organising here within Stolven, and we're trying to find them.
It's a big city, I'm afraid. I haven't heard of much trouble within the walls, but perhaps beyond them. I'm not too sure.
Okay, well, thank you for your time.
Of course. And if you wish for anything else, you know where to find me.
Thank you.
Of course, I don't know if you've heard the news, but we will be closed in a few days.
Oh, is this because of the new rulings in the city, or...?
No, dear, it's just a Relueva. Starting a bit late this year round, but I'm told that there is a convoy on its way, and the carnival should be in town shortly.
Oh, do you know why it's been delayed at all?
I heard something about the convoy being stopped on the road, something along those lines, and they've not made it here on schedule. My understanding is that they'll be here on the 4th, and as usual, the shops will be closed from that point onwards. If you've got business in town or wish to spend coin anywhere else, I'd suggest you do it soon.
No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
And you too. Enjoy your gems.
Thank you.
Vice and Elkas.
Yes.
So you guys head for an hour towards this residential area. And you get to what is sort of like an apartment block. It's like the rooms in a tavern, but without in an inn, sorry, but without the tavern section on the ground floor. Just an open sort of hallway that gives way to stairs. What do you want to do?
So, I mean, we don't have exactly a door number, so
Nope.
we're gonna have to. I don't know how we're gonna search for this person. Any ideas?
Give me 2 moments. I'm going to think very, very hard about any possible things that I could have that would help. So what was all the information that, like, Vice got? Because I'm assuming he would have just told me. on the
Oh
way.
yeah, I would have just told you, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
can
her
just-
name's Cardi. She's a human. She's slightly older than Nia. She's got short brunette hair. She's very pretty, light-skinned, and about mid-height. Not very tall.
Oh no! Hey, it's just sorry.
So we just know of the vague description of this woman that
Yeah,
could...
vague description. You have her first name. You looking to cast something?
I was thinking about it, but now there's, like, not really much I can do.
Any spell in particular?
Actually, wait. Let me just quickly check the description.
Vice, you have spells too, Vice, right?
Yeah, but none of which can help me in this situation.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Nemea and Livia, what are you guys doing for the hour it takes these guys to get to this place?
I assumed we were in the jewelers.
I mean, not for an hour though. You kind of had that conversation. By the time you got to the place, let's say you were in there for sort of 20 minutes, looking around, chatting to her, buying the things. They would have just left the brothel as you guys were basically ready to leave the jewelers, but then they've walked for an hour. You don't have to do anything. You can just mill about the market. It's up to you.
Where else have you got on your list? I'll go to the bakers.
Okay, cool. So Alcas and Vice,
Mm-hmm.
what are you guys doing?
I mean,
believe-
do we see anyone around? Do we see anyone that fits the description? A human, brunette.
You don't see anyone that matches her description, but there is a somewhat larger gentleman just kind of passing by, and he turns into the building and starts heading up the stairs, kind of throws you a quizzical look and starts going up the stairs.
Okay.
Can I
Cool.
change one of my prepared spells?
No.
It.
Can I try and run up to the guy or try and catch that guy's attention?
Yeah, no worries. So you just call out to him, he turns around. Yes?
Hey, excuse me, can I ask you something? And then try and go over. So, I'm looking for. I heard that there's what they call what they call. There's a. I'm looking for a girl in the area. Someone who offers services. If you know what I mean.
It's about an hour back that way. And he points out the door back towards the brothel. Plenty of them.
No, not. I'm not looking for any old girl. I'm looking for a specific girl, one who's, I've been told she's absolutely stunning, beautiful, human. She's got brunette hair,
Short.
yeah. I think she goes by the name of Cardi.
3rd floor. 2nd door. And he just starts walking off.
Okay, cool. And I look back at Thing Bob. I keep getting his damn name. Elcas?
Yes. I just sort
cool. Elcas.
like, do a sort of like little information isn't like normally that easy to get,
Hey.
and then just sort of continue on with you.
Cool. Let's go.
This building has about 6 floors in total. You just recognised it to be very tall on your way over. It's definitely not the tallest building in Salvan. A long way off. You head up the stairs to get to the 3rd floor, and you find this 2nd door on the left that the guy described, and it's a simple wooden door. The stone structure that makes up the interior walls is less well put together than the outer walls.
Okay. I hope her inside looks better than their outside.
So.
Go.
Okay,
Inward,
so
yeah.
the door, you go to open the door and it doesn't open, it does seem to be locked.
Nothing?
Would be real helpful if I had a lockpick.
Yeah, I mean, I knew someone who had a lockpick. He used to carry a lockpick.
He still has them.
He still has them. Everything else.
Got a massive backpack and everything.
I also knew someone who could walk on water.
He can't do that anymore.
No.
So plop his dead body on there. Float him in the water.
Okay.
I want to.
Do you want me to come back to you guys? I
Yeah.
don't mind.
Just for the sake of wanting to know if anything could be happening, I want to detect magic.
Okay, cool. Ritually or via using the slot? Because it's going to take you 10 minutes to ritual cast it.
Use the slot.
Okay, cool. So you immediately cast detect magic. You begin sort of weaving your hand through the air, and Vice recognizes it immediately to be a spell. Vice, I assume you just allow this to happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
So you take a few steps back, Vice, and Elkas, you continue the spell. As you finish it, things begin to light up around you. Let me check what happens. Okay. So Vice lights up. Basically, the entirety of him, any part that is his clothing,
Magical.
just lights up. I don't think, no, yeah, you notice that he himself does not light up, and neither does his sword, which he clearly has on his hip. And for a moment, there is something amidst his items that lights up greater than anything else, and you can't pinpoint its location. And as soon as you recognize this thing exists with the spell, it doesn't exist anymore. It's as if you sort of casted it wrong, maybe. And then you start to get blips around you of kind of weak things in the general area. It seems as though there's one thing in the room that you are standing outside of. I think you get the School of Magic. I'm not certain. For the duration of if you sense magic, you can use your action to see a faint aura around any visible creature or object of the best, and you learn its School of Magic, if any. So, bear with me. Schools of Magic. Here we go. Okay, so the School of Magic surrounding Vice appears to be, I'm gonna say abjuration, I believe. Yeah, abjuration. And then inside the room, you can tell there is some very minor enchantment.
Okay. I'll knock on the door.
Okay. It's still locked, for you can tell from knocking. And you give it sort of 2 or 3 minutes. There's no answer.
Wanna just sort of look around, see if there's anything coming.
Okay. Roll investigation.
I'm pretty sure my investigation.
Is it locked from the inside?
You could roll investigation on the lock if you want to try and determine it.
19.
19. From what you can tell, nobody on this floor in the corridor. You can't hear any footsteps. Seems quiet. It's kind of midday. You assume most people are out. Vice, there's no key in the lock, so you're unsure as to whether or not it's locked from the inside or outside. It's simply locked. Nothing's blocking it.
I want to look down at Vice.
You can tell that the door opens toward the room. Sorry, Alcas, carry on.
I want to look over to Vice and just be like, how strong are you?
How what?
Strong are you?
How strong am I? Hey, I carry a loot. I am. Yeah, I mean,
prove that you're not. I don't know what you're going for.
That's exactly what it's going to do. Like, come on, man. Yeah, sure. I'm not very strong, honestly. Why? What did you have planned?
Well, and then I kick the door.
Okay, cool. Roll to hit and roll an improvised weapon attack.
To hit.
Or it's just no, sorry, it's just 1 plus strength, isn't it? To punch is 1 plus strength, so I imagine a kick is the same. And yeah, to roll to hit, it's going to be strength based, so it's just a d20 plus strength. You're not proficient with unarmed attacks.
That's fine.
That I'm aware of, unless you are. Okay, so you boot the door and you boot the frame, roughly where the door handle is, but you kind of kick the wall and the frame a bit more than the door. You do damage the door a bit, like you can tell that it's now a bit like loose in the lock, and you can tell that you have done a small amount of damage to it. Do you want to roll the damage just in case?
Fine. What would the damage be?
Oh, it's just sorry, it's not a roll. It's 1 plus strength, so 2.
Yeah, 2.
Yeah, cool. So you just hear from upstairs, "Hey, keep it down!"
Well, that would have been a lot easier if I was better at hitting. And I just sort of like, kind of similar to Family Guy of the whole just, but a bit more stoic.
Okay. Do you guys want to do anything else with the door? Try something else?
Yeah, I'd like to see. Hang on. With Mage Hand,
Uh-huh.
do I need to see what it is I need to do?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You could try and look through the lock potentially, or underneath the door in the like the gap at the base of the door.
I mean, yeah, I'd like to see if I could keyhole and cast Mage Hand to see if I can get the Mage Hand to kind of go around the other side
Okay.
and check the door.
So, give me a investigation check first, and we'll see if you can see through the keyhole well enough to cast Mage Hand in the next room.
8.
8. Okay, let me
Yeah.
just check Mage Hand. Verbal and semantic. Okay. At a point you choose within range, the hand lasts for the duration until you use the hand manages. Okay, I'll allow it for the sake of this. So, you see in the room a spectral floating purpley hand floating just sort of 2 feet past the door, and you're struggling to look through the keyhole and maintain the spell. But you're able to have it up at the moment. You can control it.
Okay. Can I, feel for, any type of like barricade or something like that that's around the door? Because if it opens away from me, right?
The door opens away from you. You can't
Yeah.
feel with the hand.
Okay. Can I get the Mage Hand to try and move around, try and get me if there's anything in the way?
Okay. So you sort of bring the hand up against the door around the lock, and you wouldn't be able to feel it. Roll me another investigation check. Okay.
Oh.
So you hear it sort of clatter against something and knock something down, but you can't feel it. You can only hear it yourself, and you can't see what it is.
Okay. Then leave it as. No, I'm not. Okay, fine. Let me look at old giant there, Elcas, and say, "Yo, maybe try kick the door again, man." There's something there, though. There's definitely something there.
There's a decent space under the door, I would say. Maybe like 1.5 inches, where the door's not perfectly fit in the space.
Oh, that's great, man. Let me get on my hands.
Well, I'd say that the same thing probably would have happened if you were looking under the door. A bit easier to cast, but you still can't see up where your hand was. It would have knocked it over.
Okay.
Like, you probably couldn't fit under it in your current state, either of you.
All right. Should we take pass over to the other guys while we think about what we're gonna do?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So Livia and Nemea, in this time, you guys have easily made it to the bakery. That's where you're going, right? The bakery.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be the first ever QVC session where nobody particularly buys anything except those 5 gems.
And rations and a money bag.
Oh, that's true. Oh, maybe it was on the page I was on. Oh yeah. So you guys make your way over to Do It Yourself. It's still in the market square. And I believe you have notes about this place.
Do I?
Yeah, because you took down notes about a job.
Oh, you're right. I did. Oh no, wait, I didn't. I didn't take all the notes down. It was long. Oh, I did. No, all I wrote down was do it yourself. Merriman
Nice.
looking to buy gems. Gaston Cutlery challenge. Oh, brand discreet job at do it yourself.
There you go. So you know Bran to be the guy that runs the bakery. There's a lovely smell of baked bread as you head that way and you cross the market, surrounded by people. It's very bustling at this time of day. And the two of you reach the bakery without any hassle. As I say, smelling that nice baked bread smell as you get not even close, you're at a relative distance and you can already smell that. You head on through, the doorway's open, and there is a human fellow there, slightly older than you guys. Seems to be real attention to detail, taking his time with what he's doing as he seems to be baking something.
Bran, is it?
You kind of catch him off guard a little bit. He turns around, he's like, "Hello. Yes, I'm Bran. Are you looking to buy some bread?"
Potentially. We also saw your posting on the notice board.
Perhaps we should talk in the back. Do you mind?
No, not at all. Lead the way.
This way. This is your friend?
Yes.
Hello.
Good day. And he takes you on through to a back room. Just before he moves on through, he takes something off a fire, sets it to the side. He seems to have a strange dustpan looking thing, but with like a top on it. The whole thing seems to be like cast iron. He takes it off the fire and lays it on the side and then walks you through to a back room. You head into where he has like a table and a number of wooden chairs, 3 or 4 chairs. He sits down and kind of motions for you guys to sit.
We sit.
Do you know this place well at all? Are you from Starvin? Do you know Starvin?
I am, but I've been travelling for the last few years, so...
That must be what it was. I don't recognise you, but I get a lot of customers, I suppose. Are you familiar with the Royal District?
I mean, I have basic navigation there.
Have you heard of the Fat Quail?
Have I?
No.
No.
You haven't had the pleasure then, or perhaps the misfortune. Do you know Gaston?
Is this the one that I've seen on the notice board?
Yeah.
I've
Vice
heard
has
of
mentioned
him.
his name a number of times about the cooking competition.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna say I've heard of him.
He thinks he's God's gift to food.
It would seem.
One sec. I wish to do so much more than just bread. It's something I'm naturally good at, but whilst it pays the bills here, I'm destined for more. I've got a flair, you know, and every time I start sort of experiencing it and developing it a little bit, he comes by and mocks me and tastes my food and insults me and just ruins my confidence. I've closed up every now and then, and I even entered that pathetic competition of his once, but well, he has some skill, I suppose.
You shouldn't listen to someone else. If you have faith in your own skills, you should...
I'm not interested in his insults. He's driving down my business. He makes me look bad. I want somebody to do the same to him.
Oh dear.
How is that, Clee?
Don't worry, I'm not asking anything particularly illegal. I just want somebody to rough his place up a bit, smash a few things, maybe steal some things. I don't really care what you do. I'm not interested in the specifics. The point is, if you're willing to do the job, then I can pay you 200 gold, and I just need the place to be wrecked enough that he's out of business for a short while. Of course, if you mention this to anyone, I'll deny it.
course. And would you have a time frame you would need this done by?
I don't care massively, but I know he holds
Okay.
his competition. I think it's tomorrow if he gets the entries, and to be honest, I was thinking to enter myself, so maybe after that. We all have to close up on the 4th, so I suppose whilst he's closed.
Okay. Well,
The sooner
we'll
the
see how
better.
Well, let's see how the competition goes, and we'll check back in with you afterwards. While we're here, we're also looking into a little group known as the Heart of Dawn. Does this ring any bells to you?
Everyone rolls crap. I can't say they do. Many people come through. Seems people that aren't on the road prefer what I offer to simple ration packs and some fancier foods, and he kind of looks angry again for a moment. Well, they're ridiculously priced, to say the least.
So you've not you haven't happened to see, and then I'm just gonna describe Vice's missus.
Okay.
And say like she was with a group of other people.
Rings a bit of a bell. They may have come through and perhaps brought some bread. I think I saw her the once.
Do you know roughly how long ago that would have been?
A couple days. Maybe
Couple of
3 or
days.
4.
Oh, okay. And
be
do you know if
honest,
she
it
was with
was-
many people?
If it was any longer, I probably wouldn't remember them. I see a lot of people. Yes, a small group. I think there was about 3 of them.
Was it just her and two other men, was it?
I believe so. I didn't pay too much attention. She bought some bread, I think, and they went about their day.
Could you give me a rough description of these men?
He just describes human males. One slightly more tan than the other, like a darker skin tone. No real discerning features. I didn't get a good look at them.
Okay.
They wore hoods, and I wasn't really looking.
That's fine, that's fair enough. Would you be able to just keep an eye out for them and let us know if you see them again?
Of course. I'm going to try and enter the competition. I think that even if it is just me, he'll probably still take it on. So, you know, if you wanted to get on with it tomorrow, then, or maybe the day after. It's getting late.
Well, like I said, we'll see how the competition goes, and then we'll check back in with you. Good luck. We wish you all the best.
Thank you.
And then, can I buy a loaf of bread before we leave?
Of
It
course.
looks wonderful.
Yes. Let me get you one fresh out of the oven. And he goes back into the other room, passes you a loaf of bread. It's 1 silver.
I'll give him 2.
Well, thank you very much.
Nod and leave.
Okay. Vice and Elkas. You guys
Yes.
are looking at a door.
Okay, we're gonna break it down
We
together.
knowingly look at each other with a nod, and we just yeet.
Okay. So roll to hit, the both of you.
Yeah.
It's a d20 plus strength, no proficiency.
Yeah.
I think Vice's strength is probably worse than yours.
That's literally the same
Oh,
one.
for Lord Jesus.
So Vice does no damage, and Elkas, you do 2 damage. You again slam into this thing. The 2 of you collectively, given your rolls, you both take 2 damage each. As you slam into this door, it makes a thunderous slam, a thud. And
Not
you
as
hear the
hard.
muffles from somebody shouting down upstairs. As you slam through the door, it swings wide open, and you are in a open room, a sort of living space that seems to have some things over in the corner that resemble a bit of a kitcheny area, and you're in front of like a bench-style table. And immediately a smell hits you. It smells sort of. It's pungent and sickening.
Okay, so we're in.
You're in.
Okay, we're in.
Is this like a smell that I've smelled before?
I would say so. Yeah, you're not like
Something I can place?
dissimilar. It doesn't smell good. It doesn't smell living.
I just sort of, in that kind of edgy elf boy voice, just say, "It smells like death in here."
That edgy elf boy voice.
You know what voice I mean.
I know exactly what voice you're talking about.
Yeah. So what's the layout of this room then? Is it just like?
It's quite like it's a medium-sized, large open space with a table and some stuff over to the side that kind of resembles a kitchen. There's like a stove kind of thing for a space for an open fire underneath, pots and pans on top, and then a side room, which is a bedroom on one side, and then a smaller side room that seems to be a toilet on the other.
Okay. I
immediately just go ahead and scour the entirety of this open space.
Okay.
To find
Roll
anything.
investigation. What are you doing, Vice?
Do I see a staircase or anything
Nope.
upstairs? Is it like a one floor?
Yep.
One flat, yeah. Okay, cool. I want to see if I can go back, but I want to prepare my sword.
Is this the missing girl's place?
Yes.
Yeah, this is
So, Vice, you get your sword ready and you head towards the bedroom. Elkas, as you're just looking around the room, you see a few things kind of knocked to the floor. You see a small table with a pot and a key. The pot has been smashed and the key seems to have been jettisoned from it slightly, and the table's on the floor. It was right next to the door. Vice, as you head through to the room, you see the corpse of Cardi on her bed, face into the pillow, and she appears to be dead.
Oh, fuck's sake. I say that, by the way. Oh, man. Elkas. In
Yes.
here.
I will approach and walk in.
Okay. Both of you make con saves for me.
Yeah, 3. Yes.
Okay. Vice, you throw up in your mouth a little bit. Elkas, you just about hold it.
Yeah, I want to slightly recoil a bit as I walk into the room, just ugh.
It stinks. Like, this is where the smell is coming from.
Kind of. I tried to hold it together and look tough, but I end up kind of going back.
Is the room kind of small?
Yeah,
with the
it's a relatively small bedroom.
Because I want to sort of go slightly past Vice, sort of tap him on the shoulder a bit because I can see that this is not going to be fun, and I want to have a closer look at the body.
Okay. Roll nature or survival for me. Or medicine, actually. Nature or medicine, I think, makes more sense.
I'm going for survival, maybe, unless I have to go for medicine.
Yeah, I think probably medicine is going to make sense. You're checking the body specifically. I was thinking more that your general sort of outdoor check, but yeah, no, medicine makes a lot more sense. Roll that. Okay.
Yeah.
You can see that she's been strangled from the marks on her neck. She's top half naked, and she doesn't seem to have anything on her otherwise.
Hmm.
I return to the room.
To the main room or the bedroom?
No, to the bedroom.
Okay. So you can see Elkas just sort of inspecting her, like leaning in a little bit and looking about her.
Okay. Can I not inspect the and see if there's anything
The
that
room?
really out? Huh?
You want to look around the room, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, roll investigation. Okay. You can see some copper coins on a side stand to the side of the bed. She has a sort of open wardrobe set up in the corner. that just has kind of skimpy outfits in it. It doesn't look like any of them are particularly like proper clothing, and then there is just one set of clothing in here that seems to be just sort of general coverings, like common clothes. And then as you move over to that side, you see there's a lot more clothes just on the floor. Some skimpy, some functional.
Okay. I want to check under the bed.
Okay. Nothing under there. It's slightly raised, not a lot. And it's just a simple wooden frame.
Okay. What about on the sheets? Anything there
There's a dead body.
other than the body?
No.
Anything on the body? Anything on the hand?
No, you see the same marks to the neck that Elkes points out for you. She doesn't have anything on her.
Okay, so what marks? I didn't.
She was
notice.
strangled to death.
Strangled. Okay. Those monsters.
So, from the information I got, was it like some guys took her away or something?
So,
Some guy. Oh.
go on, Vice. You can tell it.
No, I was saying that there were a group of men, or a few men, like 2 or 3 men, that came into the brothel with hoods, and they got gowns, no distinct features that could be seen at the time, and they took her away, and she hasn't been seen since. Basically, they were throwing her about a bit when they were there, But other than that, it's led us to this point.
Well,
It's
at
just
least we
another
know
dead
what's
end.
happened here.
Yeah, but it's another dead end. So I don't know where to go from here. And I feel like there might be a clue, but because I'm terrible at investigating, I don't know.
I want to investigate like the bed itself to see if there's anything nearby her.
Okay, roll investigation.
See if there's something possibly that someone could have got. Was it a 2? I need to get used to my new rolls. Yes, it's a 2.
Come on, Elkas. Yes.
Amidst the bedding, there is a dagger that just seems to be a simple knife.
It's the penis shaped.
It is not penis shaped. It's a straight blade, almost stiletto-like dagger.
Is it looking like it's had any like wear and tear, like been used recently or anything, or
Not
is
that you
it
can
just
tell.
good old dagger? Cool.
Standard dagger.
Is it laid near her as if she would have attempted to go for it?
You can't really discern that from, like, it was just sort of in the folds of the sheets. Clearly some sort of struggle was had here. It comes part in part with being strangled to death. But other than that,
I don't know. Maybe she'd embraced it.
any symbols? Anything can examine it?
not that you guys can see. The dagger itself just seems like a simple dagger.
Simple dagger.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I want to go back out into the main area.
Okay.
And look for in the kitchen area specifically.
Okay. There are similar smells of rotted food that was being cooked, presumably around the time that she was killed. It just seems to have gone mouldy in a pot. And that's about it.
Okay.
Well, I'm not really sure what we're even looking for at this point.
Yeah, I think we need to leave.
Yeah, I don't think there's much we can really glean from this.
Okay. To be honest with you, I would like to head back to the brothel.
Okay. So you can do that. It'll take some time. Take you about an hour to get back there.
Unless you've got any
just agreeing.
suggestions. Okay.
I've got nothing I'll come with. I'll just wait outside though.
Okay.
Okay. So for the sake of expediency, you head back to the brothel, Vice, and you head inside. You're met by that same woman. She sort of smiles and welcomes you back as though she knew you'd be back, type thing. She asks you if you want to see the same girl you saw before.
Yeah, I do. I want to see. Is it Nia?
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
yeah.
goes away for a moment and comes back and says that you're in luck. She's just freed up.
Okay.
And she leads you over to a sofa where you can sort of wait, and you see girls just like dancing about the brothel, coming and going. Some leading men, some just sort of on their own. And eventually she comes over to you and says she's happy to make the same deal if you have the same sort of coin.
And I grab her hand or arm and I somewhere quiet, please.
Take her over to somewhere quiet.
Yeah.
Okay. How aggressive an action is it? Because
Not too aggressive.
okay, cool.
I want to
Came
grab her
across as
and-
potentially a bit aggressive the way you described it. That's fine. So you lead her over. She's a little bit worried as you do so with much more intent than she's ever seen from you before. Not that she knows you well.
Yeah.
And you go and find one of the side rooms. She takes you through a door.
Okay, fine. I wanna. So, Cardi, we visited Cardi, and she's been killed.
She starts to sort of, like, a few tears run, and she's clearly upset. But there's a part of her that's kind of like, you know, girls don't come back after a couple of days. It's not the first time
Okay.
it's happened.
So you need to tell me more information. I need to try and track down these because they could do it again. And if anything, you don't know who could be next.
She gives you all the information she has, and it basically amounts to what you already had. She wasn't lying to you earlier from what you can tell, but she didn't see these guys. She does sort of step out for a moment if you allow her, and she comes back with the woman who was fully clothed, the slightly older woman, and introduces her as Madrasa and says that she's the woman who runs the place. She says to you that none of the people here know the faces of those men. They haven't been back since, and if they come anywhere near the place, they'll be taking care of them themselves. And then they sort of suggest that you should leave too. Your camera's frozen, by the way. Did you get all of that, Max? I feel like maybe he has frozen entirely.
I think, yeah, he's probably dead.
He's dead now.
Oh no, the Heart of Dawn got him.
You ask questions, you get stabbed.
Mm.
Okay. Is Sevi back yet? No? Cool. Nemea, are you doing anything?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What do you want to do?
I'm watching a trailer.
You doing anything relevant to the game?
No.
Okay. Well, if Max is disconnected and
Yep, he's disconnected. He just
yeah,
messaged.
and Sevi's gone and you're watching trailers, I'm gonna say that we will wrap it up there.
Yeah.
And I'll make a note off stream of kind of where we're at. Just to let you guys know, by the time you get back to the group, if your intention is to reconvene in the market square, it's going to be about sort of 5:30, 6 p.m. Which isn't unrealistic in terms of potentially still doing the cooking competition, given that it's being held in a restaurant that probably wouldn't open until sort of mid-lunch anyway, mid to late lunch.
Yeah.
But yeah, in terms of the stream, cheers for watching, those of you. Apologies for the various technical bullshit. I will make sure that it's not that
Sorry.
bullshit next time. It's all good.
One day we'll get the hang of streaming properly.
One day.
It's always a hassle. Like, I watch the Co-optional podcast whenever that comes out, and they have audio issues every single time. Like, it's just not an easy setup. And, you know, I'm doing this myself, and I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. So it's going to be this way till I learn more things. But yeah, cheers everyone. Catch you all later. Kill the stream.
Bye.
I'm gonna
Stream.
show Elkas properly soon.
Bye, stream.
Bye.